Last episode, we talked about how France, Japan, and the UK are going big. They're going all in on uranium. Well, this week seemed to be the US's turn, which is as big of news as you could possibly have hoped for. Look at this tweet from the Secretary of Energy, right? Biden's Secretary of Energy. Nuclear science is an incredible asset to our nation. It delivers more than half of our nation's clean energy, creates jobs, and expands space exploration. Join me in celebrating Nuclear Science Week. So positive vibes towards, nuclear from this administration. But that is not all. Look at this tweet from the Special Presidential Envoy, John Kerry. The global clean energy transition will require deploying at massive scale the full range of clean energy technologies available. Thanks to IEA.org for their new net zero report outlining the role nuclear energy can play in our climate goals. So literally everything uranium investors have ever wanted is happening. The United States narrative is shifting away from renewables into uranium. It couldn't get any bigger than this, to be quite honest. But you have even more massive news. So Kazatomprom has now entered the physical uranium trust business. So that they saw how successful the Sprott Physical Uranium Trust was and how they're just racking in fees for and just making a killing on their investments. And they're jumping on board. And who is more physical uranium than Kazatomprom? So what's going to happen, seemingly, is that they're going to mine the uranium out of the ground, create a fund, investors are going to buy it, and they're going to lock away their physical holdings for the foreseeable future. But the important thing is that they're going to take it off the market. So normally Kazatomprom is just this massive producer and they kind of pump it out and fill supply gaps. Well, now some of the uranium is going to go into these physical trusts. So you're going to get even less uranium on the market. We've already talked about how there's a supply deficit. This is going to make it even worse. This is just one of many that's going to happen because what Wall Street does is they see profit potential and they securitize it. They pump out these products and sell them to the masses and rake in fees. That's what Wall Street does best. Watch how many uranium funds are going to just balloon and come out in the next few years. Guaranteed. As the price rises and they see how this physical fund works, it's going to happen. Look how many funds gold has. So we also talked last week a little bit about Japan, which was always one of the biggest before Fukushima. Time has passed. They want back in. And so here is another article from Japan. Japan's carbon goal is based on restarting 30 nuclear reactors. These nuclear reactors take up a lot of fuel. Japan is getting back into it. They're serious about it. And what I love is you have Rick Rule, who everyone respects and loves, who I've had on the show, comment on the article. And he says this would have a massive impact on the uranium market, both spot and term. So he's saying Japan alone, with their 30 nuclear reactors being restarted, because they did shut them down, which after Fukushima, which did cause a big kind of collapse after Fukushima, being restarted is major and massive impact on the uranium market, which I completely agree with. And guys, this is huge. So in the EU, there's a debate going on about how to label nuclear energy. And here's the headline. Brussels to delay decision on how to classify nuclear power for green finance. The debate is supercharged by surging electricity costs. So just for some context, Belgium had recently shifted from nuclear towards fossil fuels. And so they've come under fire because gas prices are surging, which many could have, and many did predict. And that's why this article, Brussels to delay decision on how to classify nuclear power for green finance, is important because it seems like given this energy crisis, it seems like they're reevaluating the facts and moving towards nuclear energy. And here's another encouraging article led by France. 10 EU countries call on Brussels to label nuclear energy as green source. So how much do you want to bet that they end up labeling nuclear energy as a green source? I don't know if this is priced into the market, but again, just a massive driver. So I can't emphasize enough just how serious this is. So you have major countries around the world moving towards uranium. And this is a massive shift from a year ago when no one was talking about uranium. But reality set in, fossil fuel prices are skyrocketing. There's a legitimate energy crisis in Europe. Many people have predicted this, including people that have been on the early stage investor. And just for reference, John Paladin brought this up on a recent interview I had with him. Look at the prior bull markets. Look at how uranium behaved in the past when there was a similar kind of supply crunch. Let's just look at the chart of Paladin Energy. You can see it kind of just spiking and leveling off, spiking, leveling off, spiking, leveling off, coming down, dipping, but it just kept going up. And so it's slightly rocky, but if you look at the chart now compared to where it was the last time this happened, it does look like there's more room to run. And I will keep you posted as more news trickles in. This discussion is for informational purposes only. Nothing in this discussion should be taken as investment advice. Guests are not compensated for their appearance. Do not base any investment decisions on the information presented.